Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Friday afternoon, April 23rd, and we are looking at window traders' market profiles of SPY, IWM, and triple Qs. And all-time high in the transports for the third day in a row, and in the S&P and the SPY. Pretty much a carbon copy of what happened last Friday, but a little bit of a difference. I'll show you why. So last Friday, when we hit our all-time high, 10 for 10 wide, and then we exploded. I said we could have gone up $100 and the pot couldn't have been raised. That's a nuance. The difference today is we had a trend day. We ended 6 wide, but it's up here. SPY goes out with 3 sets of single prints, a small one in B, they leave a small one in G, even though N's filling them, that doesn't count, and a large one in C. ES only goes out with 2, a small one left in G and the large one in C. So there's a lot more for buyers to lean on as opposed to last Friday when we were 10 for 10 wide, and when that failed, the odds of going back to that pocket at some point were pretty good. Finally caught some laggards up here in SPY, just like last week. I mean, this market did not stop one time framing up until J period. Got nothing for it. I actually took a short, lost some money on that trade. I'll explain that in a second. And then finally, when we got the laggards caught up here, they flushed them out. I'm going to go over the charts in all of these indices. The IWM Russell had a chance for an outside week up where they took out last week's low. They got above it pretty good in L&M, but could not hold it, so they don't have an outside week up. But very nice recoveries by IWM and triple Qs. Nice recovery by us also on the weekly, but we never took out last week's low. So we are up in all 3 time frames again. As far as my trading, I was green on the day, but I'm not happy at all with my trading. I made 6 trades, made on 3, lost on 3. I fought it. There was no pullback where that I was happy with to get long, so I took a couple of shorts. The one long I really wanted was an A period on the second 15-minute bar when it came in. Tried to buy it, never got it. Now, that's not an excuse. I mean, when you look at this market, we had a lowest accepted price in B. We had singles. It's easy to say, man, you should have just been long the whole day, but there were other factors involved. I told the room, we also have basically an open and drive, but I did tell the room, first things first, we have to get over K and L's high. If we do that, you're going to have shorts trapped from I through M. Well, that happened. But then I said, I think where change took place, B's low and I's high from yesterday, is going to be a very important factor. Obviously, it wasn't too important. They ripped right through it. So a lot of things I thought that... am I surprised we took back yesterday? No. Am I surprised by how fast we took back yesterday? Yes. I told you, this was BS. Okay, market makes the news. It's not the other way around. If that news was so important, then why in the world did we come back and make a new high today? Because it's not important. Because it's BS. And all you had was uneducated traders and mindless shorts and algos push this down. And they got taken to the woodshed for the millionth time over the last 10 years or 12 years since 2009. So as far as my trades, I'll go over them, but not very happy or proud of them. I did... So in A period, I traded today's expiration. I took a short basically against the overnight high. When we opened, we pushed up against K's high, overnight high. I actually made some money on that, 415s, pulled back a little bit. Then I took a long, the 412 calls, and did well on that. I was waiting. In the second 15-minute bar, I tried to buy it. I didn't get it. I actually took another short in A period at half back. That didn't work. Took it off for a loss. I'm like, forget that. We're going to go test B's low, I's high. And that's what we did. I took a short in C period. I didn't do anything in B. B had a very small range, and then C exploded. Well, when it first did, I took that short against I's high, see if we were going to hold. I did not. Lost money on that. Now, my best trade today, and I'm not proud of it, but after we took out I's high and went up a bit, I'm not exactly sure where it was, but it kind of stopped, and it was stalling. And I said to the room, I would like to see this pull back to I's high from yesterday. I would take a size call play against that, and I'd use B's high from today as my out. It wasn't going anywhere. I actually took a 100 put play, and I got very fortunate on C's second 15-minute bar when it opened. Actually, it couldn't have been the second 15-minute bar. I didn't pull back much, but I made money on that because it pulled back enough where I was short long 100 puts, took it off, made money, but it never pulled back anywhere near where I wanted to take the call play, and then it ripped higher. So I'm not proud of that trade whatsoever. It paid me nicely. I think it paid me about close to 18 cents on 100 puts, which saved my whole day because I had lost on a couple of trades in A, the other one in C, and then I ended up losing. Did one other trade on the day. It wasn't even a big one. I took a put play when J took out I. I'm like, maybe we'll go fill these singles. It got down to yesterday's high. I took small off. I was waiting to fill the singles. I was waiting for an opportunity to go long on an afternoon pullback low. Lo and behold, just went right back up. K took out J's high and I's high. I got out of the restful loss. So I made on 3, lost on 3, but that big put play that I was lucky. I was fortunate and I was lucky that it sat around there. I thought there was good odds to come back into around I's high to test that one more time. Never did, but I still made money on it, but I never got the opportunity to go long. And I was looking to take at least 100 call play if we had gone back. So that was it. Nothing great. Still green on the day, but not thrilled about how I traded. Anyway, destinations for Monday. One and only one to the upside. 418.25, our weekly high and all-time high. Downside, we probed. I'm still using L's high, even though we closed pretty much way below it. 417.86, right? We have to see Monday if it's accepted or rejected. Then we have single prints. We have small left and G. They start at 416.63, get filled at 55. F's high, they're only 8 cents. Then we have the large one, D's low. 415.60, get filled at 414.47. So they're over 100 ticks. And then my very small one in B, 414.22, get filled at 20 cents. They're only 3 cents. More importantly is B's low. That's the lowest accepted price, and I've explained that many times, where A period closes. Where are we here? Here it is. A closes. B open, only went down like 5 cents. Even the second 15-minute bar came down exactly to the first one, went higher. To me, that's the lowest accepted price. It showed you how strong buyers were. You weren't getting any acceptance below there. So 414.11, B's low. And then today's low, 412.79 and 411.13, daily low. Now, we do have 2 weekly lows close to each other. This week's low, 410.59, and then that other weekly low last week of 410.20. At some point, those will become targets, but for now, market's pretty healthy. And now, let's go to the charts and break down all the charts. We're going to start with Russell. So the monthly, we have 1 week left to go in the month. They have been one time framing up 7 months, including this month. And inside month is still one time framing up. It does not stop it. But it will at least give some pause if we have an inside month, and then we'll see what happens. Right, we still have a week left. But right now, one time framing up for 7 months with the possibility of an inside month. Weekly, balance. We took out last week's low. We got within less than 20 minutes of having an outside week up, but they couldn't do it. They needed to close above 226. They closed at 225.76. So it's not an outside week up. It's basically 4 weeks of pure balance. And the daily has been, look at this battle between the 20 and the 50-day moving average. Back and forth, absolutely disregarding them, no respect for them at all. Now, today we closed above it, but it remains to be seen. You can call the daily up. We're one time framing up for 3 days. Triple Qs. Monthly. Balance. Now, we're attempting, I'll see what happens at the end of next week where we close. But right now it's a 4-month balance. We are trying to get above the old previous high, February 1st, and stay above it. But I'm still calling it balance for now in the monthly. Weekly. They're in balance. Remember, they stopped one-time framing up this week, but they had, would have needed some good effort. But for a while there, it looked like they might actually go and try to take out last week's high. But they failed. So it's a 2-week balance. So monthly's balance, weekly's balance. And the daily, again, very subjective. You can call this balance. You could call it balance to up. You can call it up. Again, it's very subjective. So I would probably call this balance to up. Or if you want to call all 3 time frames balance, that's fine also. And then for SPY and basically ES, monthly, 1 week to go. Chugging along. 1 time framing up 6 months. Healthy. We're above last month's high by $18. We still have a monthly gap that's holding. So it's still very healthy. Weekly. 1 time framing up. 4 weeks. We didn't get much extension, obviously, this week above last week's high. But we're still up and 1 time framing up for 4 weeks. Can you treat this as an inside week? I mean, you can. We almost took out last week's low, didn't? We did take out last week's high, but only by 34 cents. So when you're talking about a $418 vehicle, you could kind of treat this as an inside week. So we'll see. And then on the daily, it's kind of the same thing as the triple Qs. You want to call it up. You want to call it balance to up. Since we never took out last week's low, unlike the Qs, I'm going to call it up. I'm going to give the buyers their due and put all 3 time frames as up in the SPY. Volume 71 million, again, light on the way up. Now, just to close, a couple of things. Next week's going to be a very important and busy week. You have the Fed's decision on Wednesday, and more importantly, their press conference at 2:30. And then you have all the big boys reporting earnings next week out of all those big tech stocks. Those are the only earnings I really care about as far as it affecting the market one way or the other. So next week should be a pretty good week to trade. We had a really good week in the trading room. I hope you had a great week. Come check us out at camelbacktrading.org. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll speak prior to the opening on Monday.